Okay. I'd say this is the weirdest content my channel has had so far, because look at the bump ad. Look at the bump ad like video, and yet the audio confusing. Weird times. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you haven't been here before. Very good to see you. We're just gonna jump right into this. It's gonna be 6 cards. Well, 1, 6, 7. It's like 9, but it's a major. It's basically a 6-card spread. That's gonna be done with the social media tarot today. This isn't normally on the channel, but welcome in social media tarot. And then we're also, I say there's more because we're gonna start off with one of these from. It's like a few major arcana from a random deck that I found. And I only had these cards left over after a while, so I like that. I'm gonna use it as inspiration when I make my deck soon. But and then after the spread to clarify, gonna be using the Lenormand. Gonna jump right into that. A few things real quick. First of all, so sorry about being gone for so long. You know, life. And then also, recently just been in the hospital a little bit, and I actually tried to do this reading on my last day at the hospital, and video messed up on that. It was awful. I lost the whole video. Still have the audio. I might post that at some point. But then I just tried to do this reading earlier today. Had the whole thing. It was perfect, right? Had to clear space for something to make it work. I accidentally deleted the entire audio. So it would have just been me like... So, very unfortunate, but welcome in. Yeah, so let's start off. Hope you guys are doing good. It's supposed to be collective reading, just get the overall energy of what's going on. Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, let's see. To my day ones, or whenever you've been here. Just was shuffling this one real quick, and it was at the bottom. The Empress. That's awesome. The Empress was the first card to come out in the first reading, and I'm not even gonna speak on what those readings are about because they're both kind of a little different but the same. But I'm so mad that I lost the content for those, so I'm just gonna try to move forward because it was pretty good. You guys are doing some pretty cool stuff. Interesting. Your card, the Devil. Now, I'm a huge advocate. Gotta say. I have to. Mostly, my moon is in Capricorn, which I talk about a lot, so it's important for me to rep it. It is the moon is like your heart, so if I don't rep it, I'm not repping my heart, you know? I mean that in a sense where, like, definitely not like just repping the devil energy of, like, you know, the pop version of him or her, or like just repping something I don't know about, but I've actually done my own personal research on what it is, and I have my own personal opinion on what the devil may represent. So, and I have to, because with my moon sign being there, it's important for my emotions, and that's something about that. So, like, something about your personal, because the devil archetype is about knowledge of self. That's why these people are chained, because it's not about that him being a big scary guy. It's the fact that the scariest part is that they don't have their individuality in this. That's the scariest part. What makes this scary is, or what has made it scary most popularly is the group consensus of, I think that this is a big scary dude, and you see what I'm saying? Group consensus, no individuality, and that's what chains you to that. The real true devil, I feel, usually is not physical. It's usually something that's mental or internal. It's not a real thing. Usually you'll hear a lot of people talk about, you're gonna, like, call, you know, the physical devil in, and it's like, it's not really like that. it can't really happen like that. It's not a physical person. You'll see people put their fears and their own thoughts on you. You know what I mean? Anything else? What else is in that card? I love this artwork, and I can't really see it right now either. But here's a good look at that. Bones. I see skeletons. I don't know. I'm not gonna go too far into it. I just see that it's like the tail of the man is providing the fire for it, and then the tail of her is like providing fruit, like growth, like creating life. So it's like, again, and you see how they're like distracted by something, which the concept is like you know, not seeing yourself, and not like truly seeing yourself is what can bear fruit to things that will feed off of you, you know, and utilize your special parts if you don't recognize them and if you don't utilize them, you know. And then that's how you get trapped in that. That's what that archetype is. It's not a real thing that's going to come and scare you and jump into your window, you know. It's not like a beast like that. But even the card itself, like I believe the real history behind it, it's supposed to be like an animal, and it's like not even related to it at all. But it got related to it because of a group consensus. So the whole raw root of the situation feels like individualism. Feels like the truth, you know. Not even just the truth, but like your individual truth, because it's not about like making the group truth. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make your own, and then come together to not be trapped. Okay, this is interesting because the last reading we had ended with the Three of Cups, and this is almost like the three of them. But before then, they were not like hooked together. They almost chose to be together. This isn't a choice. This is more being controlled internally. Fears, addictions, you know what I'm saying? But it's not, but this isn't the fear, this isn't the addiction, this is what you make out of that. You know, that's the important part. The devil is not the fear or the addiction. The devil is the thing that you bear once you have those fears and those addictions. That means that you can erase it. You don't have to physically fight. Well, you do. That's hard. We're going to move forward. See, advocate could speak too long about it. But 15 in Capricorn just feels like work. And with 5 and 1, it's like the 5 is a number of self. So being alone to like get to know yourself. That's why the 5 of Pentacles can feel alone. The 5 of Cups can feel alone. It's like you're going through your own personal feelings. You have 5 of Pentacles, you're going through a journey by yourself. But there's 1. This is you creating the solution. Being the ace, the wand, the light. You're lighting yourself, not the situation. You're lighting yourself up. About that. Something about that. Let's see. The social media tarot is supposed to be going into 6 cards. So see, and then this spread is supposed to be the top 3 are the root, where we're coming from. So I can see like maybe like past a bit, maybe a bit of present, and then the last 3 are where we're going. And then it's sort of like flexible. You can read like cards that touch each other. You'll see. Okay. So let's see where we're coming from with the social media tarot. But oh, there's a lot falling. 7 of Pentacles. What is that? I don't know if I take them if they fall on the ground. I think I just gotta reshuffle. That is Knight of Cups though. Knight of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. Excuse me. So sorry. The 7 is really interesting because it's about like It's a very complex number because it can be about your personal philosophy. So after you've already built yourself up, what is there more to expand into? You know, what is there more to discover about your personal self, your personal thoughts? And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like your personal environment. What do you want around there? With the Knight of Cups, it's like, what's going to help you move forward the best with your heart? Especially with the Devil here. How can you be most yourself and not let anything sway you, not let anything take you away from your personal, you know, your own personal thoughts and feelings and truth, you know? Let's see what we got. What's coming out first? Oh my God, why is there 30 flying? I just need about 1 to 3. And we got the one. The Fool, the Fool, the Fool, the Fool. I think I like the Fool here. This is the start of the reading. We're coming from a leap of faith. You guys are coming from a leap of faith, or at least the collective that I'm seeing here. Sorry if it's so dark. I don't know if I can fix that, but oh well. The root of this, it's, hey yo, what's that? Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. And sorry about the light change and all the situation change. I had to go fix a few things, but I remember we were at the Fool. Don't remember what we were talking about. Hopefully that will show up. Oh my, please show up. But the Fool's interesting. Starting off makes sense. It's like a brand new beginning, brand new start, right? I see that the clothes that they're wearing aren't colored, but they are. So it's like where you're coming from. It's like your skin, like at the bare skin, the bare root of you. You have color, you have definition, you have a sense of like what's the word? You have substance, right? But what you're dressed in, what you're taking with you, what you're creating, what you're utilizing, the tools you're utilizing, what you're dressed up as in, right? All this stuff like the bike, the trumpet, the clothes don't have color. It's a story that's yet to be filled in. So it feels like you're coming from experience, right? But this is a new story you're probably entering that has not been filled in yet. I don't mean to kick the light. Uh-oh. Okay. Where else are we coming from? Man, I've done this reading twice already. Wow, the Seven of Pentacles comes out. This one has been flying around a bit, but it's been like sort of hiding. Maybe you're sort of hiding money, hiding finances, or just with it coming, because the Devil card is the center right now in this whole thing up top. It's coming over there, so if you were feeling trapped by finances, you found a way out. Seven of Pentacles the 7 is a number of like personal philosophy, and it's personal philosophy. It's a complex number. Like the 1 through 6 is very simple in a sense, but the this is in my eye. The 7 is the very first complex number, and so with the 7 of Pentacles, it's like your personal philosophy, because you have your thoughts on it, but it comes from your experience. That's where the 1 through 6 is. It's your entire experience, right? So the 7 is like you have to make your own thoughts based off of your experience. And so the 7 of Pentacles, with the Pentacles being earth and environment, and the Fool, maybe you had to reassess your environment. Maybe you had to get away from a certain environment that felt, probably with the Devil, it didn't give you a sense of individualism. It took away your sovereignty. It took away because the Devil is a 15, and it is Capricorn, which is I meant to say 15, which is the sort of mirror opposite of the number 6, because it's what you can put together to make 6. And the 6th card in the tarot is the Lovers, which is about choices. And that one is just, it's a 6 as well, but it's just broken apart. It's broken apart by a 1 and a 5. I say that because it's about making a choice, but with the 1, it's about making a choice for yourself. And with the 5, it's another self card, but it's not just for yourself, but for the survival of yourself, because the 5 is very alone. It's very, again, self-oriented, but the 5 is it can be conflicting, because you could have an idea, or you could move a certain way that conflicts with someone else, and you have to stand up for yourself, and that might just leave you in a space where you're alone, because you're standing up for yourself and you're going against something else that may want you to conform to it, right? Because that's the easier thing to do, but the more difficult thing to do is to stand by yourself. And I think that's what you're sort of doing, especially with these two. They're very by themselves. Oh, this one's got a companion, a dog. It's hard to get the light. But this is definitely, and there's more companions here, the pigs, so maybe animals are important to you. Definitely. But saving, you're coming from having to reassess something, because you had an experience with something, and now you have to sort of shape what you believe around it, what you want to do with your funds, with your time, with your resources. What's at the bottom? This, another 7 of Wands. So yeah, definitely standing up for yourself. This doesn't feel defensive. It feels like no means no, but as if like you haven't, like you're not that, maybe you aren't that good with saying no. Sorry about the noise if you can hear it. Where else are we coming from? Can't help but notice that the Capricorn sign is on the double card right there, and it's coming right above the 7 of Pentacles. So that's a lot of pentacles, a lot of earth. So matter, physical things. And the Fool doesn't really, the Fool has stuff, but it feels like the Fool is like making that literally out of its imagination. So it feels like you're sort of reassessing like what matters to you, what's important. Because and this is the same energy from all the readings. It feels like a very, very like magnificent, like a major manifestor, like a type of person who really creates, right? But you have 2 options. You can create out of your imagination and be abundant, or you can create out of what you have in your environment as well. And I think it's about mixing both. But I think if you spend too much time in either, like you do too much of the other, like if you're too much in the imagination, nothing really physically gets done, or too much in the matter, the physical stuff, you feel like you don't have enough, so nothing gets done. It's about mixing the both. That's what I feel with the Devil and those two right now, bouncing back and forth. Like, you see, like, the man almost with the physical, it's like, I have what I need physically, but I don't have the imagination to play it, maybe. And then the woman over here with like the dream and the imagination, it's like I can see what I want to do, but I can't do it. That's just where it's coming from. But I feel like you're overcoming that, because now, instead of being chained to something, it's like they're a lot more free and a lot more like relaxed. You know? Let's see. And it's funny because I was talking about how there's a lot of air and earth in all the readings. That really started off the reading. So it was a lot about like grounding yourself, being in the physical, but not staying there too much. Like getting air, getting like releasing yourself to the imagination, to your thoughts, and bringing that down to the physical, like bringing the balance. So like you think something and you create it, right? You bring it into the physical. Too much in either one can be bad though, because too much in the earth get you stuck. Too much in the like air can keep you from creating, keep you from actually doing stuff physically on this earth, which is what's important. I think it's important for you to actually, whatever you're doing, it has to be on this earth. Like, you have to put it out there. It just feels like you're just so powerful that whatever it is that knows that, the energy that's against it in a sense knows that. And so it just feels like it's like resisting it and it making you spin, like pushing you out of harmony, you know? And you're fighting hard to overcome that when you're doing a good job, because it looks like you're doing a really good job with underneath Two of Wands. Yeah, you're starting an action for yourself. Starting something. What are you starting? Let's see where we're going. Oh. A little warm in here. Hope you guys are doing well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What? Okay, so she's here. The Empress is here. The Empress is here. That's cool. It's the third card in the spread, so she's in like her place. Not in her place. She's in the place that probably feels most comfortable. You are probably in a place that feels comfortable now, hopefully. See the pool, see how it's inside. There are windows there. It's important because she's got the outside on the inside. I say that because Seven Pentacles, the Fool, and the Empress. The Fool is 0, the Empress is 3. Definitely, whatever you're doing, if you reassess your environment and what you need, and you do what's best for yourself, it's definitely been granting you. Because this is coming up in sort of in the past, it's definitely in the present sort of. It's definitely been like granting you, like the status, the level that you create for yourself. It's not like a status or a level that you deserve or one that you can pick out in a store. You made this for yourself, and you deserve it. The overall energy is one of like self-worth and creating something out of that, right? But this is so personal, it feels. Just with the water, almost, it's like personal. It's like a personal bit of like a heaven that you've created for yourself and that you deserve. It's not showing me much, but I know you have definitely been in an environment where individualism was not a thing, because all these people are by themselves. And there's another animal. There's the duck. Okay, so it feels like you have a connection to yourself and definitely to animals. And I feel like animals help you a lot. I feel like that's something you've got to look into. Because I feel like with the things of the matter, the things of earth, I think that's kind of what takes you out. Drains you, keeps you chained up to a system that will keep you in a loop. But something about getting out there and how you've been free in your mind and in your thoughts, and then on this earth, like really assessing your environment, it's really put you in a very stable position that you deserve because you've made it, right? I don't know why I said right there. I was trying to think. That's why. Okay, so I was thinking of Saturn. I don't know. It's really cool. It kind of feels like it in this card. I think of the story of Dante's Inferno and just the travel down to the bottom. The stairway to the bottom, I believe, and how it's just fraught with like terror and like fears but it's a personal, and that story is so cool because you can read it as is, right? But it's kind of general. I'm trying to finish it and go through it now. It's kind of general, but even still, like, you can personally attach your story to it and understand like what each ring going down would mean for you. Like, It's interesting because the I think Saturn has 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. 8 rings, and you have the 7 of Pentacles here. So it's like seven rings. Ariana Grande, anyone? But 7 rings here with the 7 of Pentacles. So it feels like you, with the Fool and the Empress here, it feels like if you have not gotten out of it, you are literally going down that last ring, and you are like propelling yourself back up. That's a hard one to... It's a weird thought, but you see that little ring down there? That might be the 8th one. And now it's giving me like Harry Potter Horcrux vibes. Like sometimes it's like the little thing you don't expect. It's like the last little piece. You just need to cut yourself free from that. It almost feels like 7 of Pentacles, like reassessing your personal philosophy, and then like you're sort of with 7 of Pentacles. It can almost feel like mundane, stuck in a sense, and that can sort of be a trap. You see. But it can make you think maybe it's like you thought this was like the 7 stairways down, right? Because you thought it was 8, and then you got to the very bottom, and you're like, there's nowhere else to go, so now you're stuck. But there's that 8th ring right there, and it's something about detaching that ring from the rock, something about breaking it, finding the tools, trying to understand how to get that off. I don't know. It's like it's not about going down deeper. It's about looking sort of what's in your face, and not what's in your face, but even like what's around you, what's in your environment that you could use. I don't know, because what's in their faces isn't really helping them at the moment. The 9 of Cups, I like, okay, we're not gonna, there we go, 9 of Cups. Feels nice by the Empress. It feels like 9 of Cups is like Empress in waiting. She's grounded, but there's no animals really, just plants, but no water either. You see, it feels like right now underneath, like underlying, you may feel like there is no water to float on. You may just feel like happy but stagnant. Let's see where we're going moving forward. And see what's up. This is very interesting because the readings always get different. They're the same message. Let's see. I meant this. Magic manifest, and this is a cool card. I love the social media tarot. The Magician, magic manifestor energy, 101,000,000%. And it's cool. It's coming right under the Fool. That's why I like this spread. I like to say, because it works out a bunch of different ways. So it's like one step after the other. But before you can move on to the Magician phase with this Fool, there's like a couple steps in between. There's the 7 of Pentacles, and there's the Empress. There's a devil somewhere in there, but the devil is in the details, is what they say. But the 7 of Pentacles, which would be the details, actually, which is funny. So maybe the details of your environment, the devil, the thing to detach from, something that matters probably too much, or something you need to make matter more. Something like that. The 7 of Pentacles, the Fool and the Magician. Okay, in between that, your leap of faith, you take off, and all of a sudden there's reassessing, but at the same time there's relaxation, because you're creating something. Maybe you're creating something and you're saving for it, trying to save your resources. You've been trying to save your time, your resources. You've been trying to heal, rest, relax, because you are getting ready to do something big with the Magician, for sure. And it's interesting because it's what I felt in the last reading too, where it was like a couple steps back, or one step back to go like a few or more steps forward, which with the Empress would be like definitely 3 steps. But I say that because you've got the Fool going to the Empress, 0 to 3, and then you got it going back to a you're at the Empress stage and you're taking a step back to the Magician, and that's that step back that's important. Becoming the Empress first was important because of your environment and your self-worth and your abundance, and having to create that abundance for yourself. I believe with the Devil, whatever you've been through before, it was more so codependent, creating with others, and that's probably okay because of the experience. But now you have to, with that Capricorn energy, you have to, I feel like, because that's a grandfather, sort of like a wise, you have to sort of like grow up in a sense, in like the most like helpful way. It's like growing up for the benefit of yourself. So taking a step back with the Magician, creating something, no longer, because the Empress is out helping. So maybe you were out in your environment a lot, tending to people's waters, nurturing, being like a real cool like mother figure, whoever, like male, female, or non-binary, or in between, whoever you were. It feels like with the Empress, you were just out very nurturing, but now you're taking a step back, and your environment is just, it's like, in all this numbers and code, it just feels like the universe. So it's just you and your relationship with the universe, and you're just hacking away, creating something. So I see all these elements. Interesting. The eyes are closed. So right. And the hands are still. So releasing control in a sense. That's the Magician. That would be the Magician. I think that having all the elements at the whim, the equal balance of that is sort of like releasing control of the vision. So not like focusing so hard on what you see. So don't let it, not letting what you see matter so much, but letting like the internal power come out. I think they've all got their eyes closed except the Empress. Moving forward, you're creating something. You're starting something really cool. 8 of Wands. That's cool. Because it looks like making plans, creating. Bunch flying out, just need. The Fool and the Magician, that's cool. You're taking the right steps. That's usually a thing that comes out a lot. Is that like, yeah. Oh my. Cards are being a little jumbly now. I'm gonna use that to fan myself. Ooh. Crazy. The World under the 7 of Pentacles. And they've all got a hand in that. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6 hands. It feels balanced. The Magician to the World, that's insane actually. That's like the Fool and then the World. That's basically like the whole journey of the tarot. So I will say for sure that with the Devil being here, okay, I'm easily distracted, and I just wish they would stop being so screamy in front of my yard, because none of them live here. I was talking about Dante's, the journey down there. It's just interesting because now I'm seeing the Fool and I'm seeing the World. So that's the Fool's journey. That's the entire thing. So it's almost, I'm hearing journey for sure. So not just the band, or don't stop believing. Hold on to the feeling. That too. That fly. Come on, bud. Wow. So definitely creating an entire new cycle for yourself. That's why it's so big. When I said the Fool went from the Empress to the Magician, it's like, definitely a unique way to do it in the world. Definitely, first of all, very interestingly, because the world can deal with like things we deal with in the world, so environmental things, social media. So with Seven of Pentacles being reassessing, it's just interesting because you could be reassessing what you do on social media, or who you are in the public, or who you just are in the world. So reassessing that. But moving forward with the Magician in the world, you're literally manifesting a brand new cycle for yourself, and it's pretty cool because you're doing it for yourself, but it feels like these are all magicians that have a hand in it. So it's really cool because it's like, you're not alone in this, but you are still like a major part of it. Yeah, something pretty cool about the safe right there. Like if like you're definitely guarded and you're safe. So let's see, where do we go? Where do we end? Where do we end up from here? Where do we end up from here? Oh, interesting. Interesting, because she would be sort of like the Empress in Waiting. What's at the bottom? Or one of them. Wow. He's coming out, we got to. And Temperance at the bottom. After that, yeah, I like Temperance. But, had to. The Emperor was right underneath. So underneath, so it's like not, it's sort of not seen. Maybe this is a person that you are a good match with. It just isn't. It's not being physically seen yet, because it was a physical card I didn't see. So I'm gonna leave that over here though. But you got the Queen of Cups to come out as the ending of that reading. Empress, the Queen of Cups from the Empress is nice. They're sort of in the same environment. Very blue, very calm by themselves. You are... This is interesting. Creating your own little world for sure. Very comfortable. Look how they're both like in like swimsuits, almost like just like bare to themselves. Very comfortable. I don't see any animals in this one. Yeah, I do. I see a dolphin. That's a very healing animal. Animal is definitely important. There's been an animal in every single card, except like the Magician in the world. But wow, wow, wow. Even how the umbrella is protecting and shading the Queen of Cups. It's like you're bringing more love into the world, or at least your own world for sure. You're birthing it, you're creating it, and that's the important part, because like I said, it's so personal, and this journey downwards in the inferno can be so personal, and that's important. Triggers, like that can be another thing from the devil. Triggers, personal things that affect you, things that will make you react instead of respond a certain way. Things that will make you react, and also things that make you respond. It's just how things hit you and how you receive it, and then how you give it back out. Right? That's what the Queen of Cups and the Empress would be about: how you receive things and how you give it back out. I guess the Kings would be more a little bit of the give it back out, but it's about how you receive and process would be the more the Queens. How you receive and process, and how you give it back to yourself so that you can understand it, right? So you're creating a world where you are now manifesting more beautifully, more openly, because you are receiving information correctly. You're not receiving things that feel too personal. You're sort of probably not analyzing it, but hearing it correctly, not taking it personally, but understanding where it comes from if things do trigger you, or at least learning about them. So so that you're able to process them better and not let them taint your waters, so that when you give out your waters, they aren't like full of pain. Definitely, because it feels like whatever this devil card coming out and the Seven of Pentacles, like it feels reassessing, and like the Fool and Seven of Pentacles, this is definitely getting the hell out of Dodge first, like for sure. And I think I might have said that. I may not have, but with the devil and that, because you know, I'm an advocate. I love the devil card, but with this specific situation, it feels like the emotions of others may have mattered more than they should have, or if not, they were made to matter, or made like the structure you were in. It just feels like you couldn't be alone with your own emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever you were, it was still like infected with the Empress and the Queen of Cups, maybe trying to help others, you know, trying to be there for others, be a light, be a heart for others. And I just think that was utilized a little too much, you know, and it kept you stuck. There could have been an exchange, you know, like a toxic symbiotic relationship where it's like you help me out with my emotions and I supply you with things that really don't help you in the long run. Like that becomes an unfair exchange, because then you are feeding someone in the long run. Their battery gets larger, and they're feeding you like crumbs, and it doesn't look like crumbs to you. That's why, like, this flute, this mirror doesn't look like crumbs to them, but the devil has no use of those things. Or this character, at least. The character has use of these, and these are a little bit more important. Like that comes from them, you know, it comes from their bodies. But these are pieces that just come from the earth, you know. They can go find and make it themselves, but instead of doing that, they're relying on something else that is feeding their ego and feeding not just their ego, but feeding their comfortability, so that they don't have to step outside of their fears, step outside of their current perception. But as know you have stepped out of that. Every woman and every animal enjoys you. You know, it's very nice. It feels very nurturing. But not just nurturing. Like, you or a go-getter for yourself, the Magician and the Fool and the World, just knocking out a cycle on your own with the help from others. But when I say on your own, I mean like you decided to pick yourself up and initiate that. That's important. Okay. The anchor, yeah, very solid. We're gonna end this off. Gonna clarify the top two, and then I'm gonna clarify the devil. See what's up, and maybe the Emperor, because he came out. All right, what's the top row with the lenormand? The maze. With the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Empress. Yeah. Look at that. The Empress is right there, and this maze may look like it's outside, and that's the thing. It's what you're seeing, right? But this is actually just a card. Crazy, right? Sorry. This is a card that physically represents like an archetype of a structure inside of your mind or your body or your heart, right? Right now we're thinking of the mind, or all of it. We have the elements here. So this is just a structure inside of you, if you can imagine that. So this lady here is just a part of your mind that controls your actions, right? So imagine this lady as the Empress, because this isn't in the top row that it fell. Imagine that lady at the very center of your core is a woman who is holding the whole maze together, right? And you want to get to that. You can't get to that by getting in your car and driving over to her. You got to get to that by going within and following the maze of your structure to get to that important self, you know? And there are a lot of people here, so there are a lot of not obstacles, but there are just things you'll learn along the way. And again, with not taking it too personally, you have to realize that these are people who are also in a search of themselves. So it's not like they're there to take you down personally. They're just living their lives just as you are. So knowing that can help you get through the maze without stumbling too long sometimes, staying down too deep. Because if you don't make it to the Empress, you know, it was interesting because I looked up the word him because I wanted to like figure out the etymology, and it was interesting because like HIM as in a man is the same as like HEM, which is in like the hem of clothing. So I just wanted to figure out why, and it's just interesting because the roots of those are sort of similar. They both just mean like the outer garment. So man is sort of like the outer garment of what a person would be. So it's important to know because there are outer garments, but outer garments are nothing without the person to fill it. So we are nothing without the Empress, the female, the feminine within us to fill us up, because we'll just be like clothes, like empty walking clothes without it. That's why it's important to find that. The bottom section with the Magician, the World, and the loud kids outside my garage. And I mean the Queen of Cups, I mean to say. Oof, there's a bunch flying out, just need one. Although I did see a bridge, so bridging together two important parts of you. The ship. I like that. The Ten of Swords, so something's ending for sure. But it's the same, it's a 10, so it's not just an end, it's a new beginning. And the 3, the 3 is a number of like a creation, a birth. Something connecting to birth, create something. Almost Big Bang could be something, because you think of like 1, 2 come together, and then the third thing is the reaction part of it. So, and that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought about that because it's like, that is 1, the Magician, and 2, the Queen of Cups coming together, and Big Bang the world. Not really, is that like it? You have to take religion like very lightly, or like those thoughts, because like Big Bang is just a tool I'm using for this artistic example. I'm not telling you to believe either way in the bang or the big, but you see how those two elements would come together and create something. That's what I mean by that. With the ship, the Magician would be the one to build the ship. The Queen of Cups would be the one to almost wait at the shore in this picture. So you're not only building and creating, but you are relaxing and waiting for the ship to come. It's like living in 2 different spots at once, or it could be you and another person, and you've got one who's a builder and one who is the heart of the situation. That is important. This fly, we were doing real good. The ship is about a journey, which we were talking about. The ship is about a journey. This is a journey of This is an interesting journey. What's at the bottom? The compass, yeah. Finding a direction. Maybe build, like in a sense, building yourself. Finding a direction, that would be important. The compass for the world, yeah. With the Ten of Swords here, and the Magician, and the world, it's like, definitely, it feels like you shut something down. And the computer's here too, so like shutting down a computer. Like you shut something down, and it's like you hopped a ship. Literally like hopped a ship to create something else for yourself. You were like in charge of that though. It's important for you to be in charge of that ending, because it gives you that the individual badge of, you know, you initiated it and you ended it. It wasn't like you needed something else, like that you didn't need to depend on something else for either action, you know. Okay, what is with the devil? I do like that card, and it's hot a little bit. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Don't ever doubt the Ten of Cups. Not the devil being your Ten of Cups. The journey you take, and it's scary, and it can be painted as a devil because people are afraid of it. You know, people are not going to want to paint something they're afraid of as something pretty. I'm freaked out by many things, and I don't see them as pretty. I mean, I can if I try, but not initially. So that's what this is. It's like the journey down to the depths of yourself, and it may not be pretty, but it's real, you know. That's why it is matter, because it's physical, it's real, but it doesn't seem pretty in this depiction, at least in most. So going down to the depths of it may not feel pretty, it may not be enjoyable, it may not be the fun parts of the journey, right? But doing it is the important part. Putting in the effort continuously, not letting go, you know, trying 14 times and failing, and then trying that 15th time because you're still not giving up and then succeeding. That's beautiful. After the Ten of Swords coming here, the Ten of Cups coming right out. Loyalty to yourself, because it's the loyal dog. So it's about like, and this is the animal of the whole thing. This dog could just as very well be a devil card too, because it's as a devil, because it's not like about what he looks like. It's not about, you see what I'm saying? It's not about what he looks like. It could be a dog, because people like dogs, and they think they're cute and can be addicted to them. So that could be in that podium. It's not about what's there. You know, it's about how you see that that thing that's on display. And it's about what makes you. It's about what makes you happy initially. You know, because if you can make yourself happy, you'll have a ton of loyalty coming to you. A ton of, what's the word? Community, camaraderie. You know, things that aren't traps, things that aren't like jail cells, but things that connect seamlessly and naturally, right? This is the 18 here, so it is pretty, it's like the moon, so it's illuminated just a bit. And the moon is about emotions, like, so it illuminates just enough, right? So with this, and with the light, so it's about illuminating just enough, going down just long enough to get the information that you need. This could be a darker journey you're probably going through, right? And it's about how it's both good and bad are okay. Both good and bad exist. They're important, right? Information, something like emotional information, is important. But the devil leading to the Ten of Cups, it's like going deep within yourself, figuring this out. And with the Magician, forming yourself, you know, a real, true, honest version of yourself that's not hooked on to anything, that is not separated. Because these two are separated in a sense, but in like the Emperor and the Empress, these could be the Emperor and the Empress. You see what I'm saying? It could work like that. These two are separated, not physically, but in there, because this is sort of fire in a bit, and earth, so it could be physically, but they're not, because it could be a physical separation, but it's also like soul. It's a lot of fire. It's a lot of deep to your core, right? So it's like they're separated at the core, which is, first of all, it sounds very painful and very like not ideal, but also it's like the Emperor and the Empress with it's like that's how they kept you. It's like these aren't two different people. It can be, but these aren't two different people. It's one person that have been you know, pulled apart into two different little parts. Less strong, less balanced and harmonized, you know. It's better for them to be one individual being making those decisions, but they're not. They're not loyal anymore to each other. But with this, this is the confirmation that you have gone through the darkest, not the darkest. It could be the darkest for some. It's very mixed. You've gone through just some dark times with a little bit of illumination, and you successfully got out of there. And not only it's not just a nine. You didn't just get out of there. You built something else for yourself, and it feels like that's you put yourself together, you know. And with the dog, it's like a little puppy dog, so it feels like starting fresh from the beginning. In a sense, I don't know. Yeah, definitely at the bottom, starting fresh with the child there, and then with the magician energy of creating. So what is the Emperor here for? So I see the Emperor and the Empress. What's going on with that? Another 10. This happened in the very first reading. It was 3 Wheel of Fortunes, and that's just interesting because it's like a shift. But it's like a. I don't know why it's 3 of them. Anything at the bottom, the Key in the Cage. We're definitely breaking that. You see, that's what you needed. And this key is you find it within yourself. It's not a physical key, and the cage is not physical either. It could be, and I hope that's not the situation you're in, genuinely. But we have for the Emperor and the Empress in a bit, the polar bear, which is a very masculine, feminine, blended nurturer, protector, all at the same time, can do it all at once. And that makes perfect sense. And is that not a 15, like the devil? Can do it all at once on their own, no codependency. That's the number 5, being by the self, being alone, maybe some conflict, like I said, protecting and having to nurture. There's a lot of maybe not chaos, but conflict, but just relaxing, letting the burden go, and starting fresh in that water, you know, the one starting something. And that's the Emperor. And look at him eating and relaxing. You guys are definitely finding, and there's so many people in the water and eating and just a comfort place, because I feel like these folks have been through a fight, a struggle, a time of it feels like territory. It feels like the territory of the self, you know, having to defend the territory of your physical self and of your mental self and everything in between, you know. Having to really defend all those, maybe one by one, maybe piece by piece, maybe 2 at a time, defending your mental and your spiritual. A lot of fighting, but this is a time you're going to where you're relaxing, where you are healing, where you're rejuvenating yourself 1,000%. But also don't forget that you have fought a hard fight with all these 10s, but with the overall of it, you've got, and look at him bringing the leash and the pentacle around his neck. That's the opportunity, and then the leash is it's a choice. He's bringing it to you. It's a choice. I don't know. It's that's very nice. It's not a with the devil. It's not you know, the devil would be sort of the need or desire based off of exterior factors. So your inside is all okay, but something that you see, something that hits you in a spot where it's uh-oh, this might, as in you know, general with addictions, you know, it's you could be okay technically before, and then you feel like you need something, and so your body and your mind's like, I need it, I need it, I need it, and then like you are okay, but you know what I'm saying? It's not your choice, but it's more so what something is pulling you towards. But this is definitely like being pulled towards it and making a choice. And this is like bringing like this is a home too. It just feels very warm. I don't know, warm in a nice way. It's like having gone down to the bottom, and then this one at the top is like, this is when you rise back up and you meet that little guy. That's beautiful. I hope this helps. I will see you guys soon for another one. Especially when I'm all healed and all stuff. But hope it helps. Other than that, I'm gonna go cool off. It's hot. So hope I don't lose this audio and video. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys next time. Personal reading. Information for that is below. Like, share, subscribe. And hear that bone crack. Have a good day. Bye. Those kids